Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down what it really takes to run a truly successful project.
You've probably heard this a million times, right? Maybe you even believe it yourself. A project that comes in on time and on budget, well, that's a successful project. Seems to make perfect sense.
But what if I told you that that idea is actually one of the biggest myths in getting things done? Yeah, that you can hit your deadline, nail your budget, and still have a massive failure on your hands.
So let's really get into this. We're going to unpack exactly why finishing on time and on budget, well, that's just not the whole story. It's not even close, really.
And here's the absolute core of it, straight from our source material. A project fails when it doesn't meet its scope or what the stakeholders actually wanted, even if it's on time, even if it's on budget. I mean, if you build something nobody needs, well, that's a failure, plain and simple.
All right, so to really get a grip on modern project management, we've got to do a little time traveling. I mean, think about it. For thousands of years, humans have been pulling off these absolutely mind-blowing projects. We're talking about the pyramids, the Great Wall of China. But the crazy part is, for most of that time, there wasn't really a playbook. We don't have ancient manuals on how they managed it all. It wasn't until the 1950s, which is pretty recent when you think about it, that we started to systematize everything, creating the tools and techniques we know today.
Okay, so how do we do it now? How do we manage projects to actually make them successful? Well, it pretty much boils down to a proven 5-stage journey. A roadmap, really.
And before we even get into those 5 stages, our source material has this brilliant analogy that just hits the nail on the head. A project without an objective is like driving without a destination. It's so true, right? It just perfectly captures that first, most crucial step. You've got to know where you're going. If you don't, you're just driving around.
And this right here, this is that modern roadmap. This is the definitive 5-stage framework that comes from the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK for short. Think of it as the guide that takes you all the way from a spark of an idea to a finished, successful project.
So let's walk through them real quick. First up, you've got initiating. This is the big picture, defining the why of the project. Then comes planning, and this is where you get into the nitty-gritty, setting clear goals, figuring out the scope, and drawing that roadmap. Stage 3 is executing. Pretty self-explanatory. This is where your team puts the plan into action and does the actual work. But while that's all happening, you're also in Stage 4, monitoring and controlling. This is all about tracking your progress and handling any curveballs. And finally, you get to closing, where you officially wrap things up and, importantly, document everything you've learned.
But here's what's really important to notice on this chart. See that big arrow looping back? That's the secret sauce. It shows that this isn't just a straight line from 1 to 5.
Exactly. It's a cycle. That feedback loop means you are constantly, and I mean constantly, checking in. How are we doing against the plan? What's changed? And then you take that information and you feed it right back into your plan, making adjustments as you go. That's what keeps a project from going off the rails.
Okay, so now that we have that process in our heads, let's go back to our original question and redefine what real success actually is.
So here it is, the real success checklist. And you'll notice time and budget aren't even the top items. First, did the project actually meet the scope you defined? Did you deliver what you said you would? Next, were your stakeholders happy? Did you meet their expectations? Then, is the project formally closed? And finally, maybe the most overlooked one, is all the data and knowledge documented for the future?
And let's linger on that last point for a second, the documentation. This is so critical. It's not just about, filing some reports away in a dusty cabinet. It's about creating this incredible resource for the future. It gives you traceability, and it gives the next team a huge advantage, so they're not starting from scratch.
And of course, as we look to the future, the tools we're using to manage all this stuff, they're evolving at lightning speed too.
So, our source material highlights some really cool, innovative solutions popping up. Take this one, for example, Humanology. It's basically a virtual assistant, a partner, really, for project managers. It uses advanced tech to help streamline everything and seriously boost your chances of success.
And you can totally see how tech like this is a game changer. It can help with all the tough stuff, prioritizing tasks, managing time, even engaging with the team and stakeholders. And when technology handles that, it frees up the actual human beings to focus on what they do best, delivering amazing results. So, the big takeaway here is that you now have a powerful framework that you can literally apply anywhere. I'm serious. A huge project at work, sure, but also that personal goal you've been putting off forever. So that leaves just one question for you to think about. What's one project in your life that you can start planning today using these 5 steps?